Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe, and today on the show we have someone you definitely know of, but you probably don't know this much about him until you listen to this interview. It's Sam Asghari. He is obviously known as Britney Spears' ex, but he's more than that, and he's on the season of the Traitors, and we dive into literally everything. So much to talk about. I mean, part of me wants to go way back because... Where were you born?
I was born in Tehran, Iran.
Okay, and when did you move to America?
I moved here when I was 12 and a half. This is in 2006.
And what was that transition like for you?
It was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, my family and I knew we were going to come to America for a very long time. I was actually here when I was 4 in 98.
Okay.
You know, my sisters were left behind because of immigration.
Yeah.
And how difficult that, you know, the whole thing should be.
Yeah.
You know, so I had to go back and reunite with them, and we kind of wanted to stay with our family. So I had the choice to stay here or go back, which I chose to, go back to my sisters. I was too young, but you know, I appreciate it now because when you spend half of your life, well, it's a little bit more than my half that I've spent here, but when you spend half of your life there and go to school there and see how the other side of the world is, because Iran is literally, if you drill a hole and go straight down, that's where you end up on Earth. So it's completely different. You know, obviously human rights are being violated by the government, and it makes me appreciate the opportunities in America. And every time I talk about it, it sounds like, I'm this proud American, which I am, but of course. It's very true. It's very true, and it's something that makes me appreciate it. Like when I became a citizen, five years after your visa, when you get it and you become a green card holder, then 3 more years after that, if you follow the immigration rules properly, then you become a citizen. You have to take a test, and they ask you questions like, they want to see if you it's very nervous for me.
It's intimidating as hell, wouldn't it be? Like, because you have to know the answers.
You have to know the answers, but by then I was already, fluent in English, and I was very moving here was, I wanted to be American as much as possible. Yeah. Like I said, in the morning I would drink Gatorade because I thought that was an American thing to do. Yeah.
Wait, what else did you do?
Just the typical American stuff, and tried baseball for a little bit. I wasn't good at it.
No.
I tried playing American football. I was good at that for a little bit, and, try to go for dating an American girl, which was very interesting, and just wanted to part ways from my culture as much as possible. It's very impossible because we have a rich culture. Mm-hmm. But it was very interesting to live half of my life in Iran and the other half in America.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. And do you go back ever?
I can't because my family's asylum. We have asylum to where you can't. It's very complicated.
Wow.
It's beyond, the level of understanding. But we had to basically, leave the country and come to America in hope of a better future.
And because you have 3 sisters, right?
Yes.
Are they all here as well?
They're all right here, walking distance from me.
Really?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Wait, your sister is competing in Miss Universe.
So one of them competed in Miss Universe. She was the first Persian girl to ever, after the revolution, to ever compete in Miss Universe. But she's much more than that because she has her medical spa and right here in Brentwood called Spa Medica. Oh. And she's really good. She likes to brag. She wants to lie to people and say she did my lips.
But she didn't?
No. Oh. She did not.
Somebody else did them? No,
we haven't done any cosmetic surgery yet.
No, not yet.
Only vitamins.
Not even Botox?
Not even Botox, because for acting, I feel like
You're
you got this super intense stuff that you need. So, I don't want that to be taken away from me.
That's true. I have heard that with acting, that they want facial expressions and lines. And men are just lucky because you just age better.
Well, for me, it's just if I get the right sleep, I drink enough water, it's good. I'm sure at some point I'm going to be needing, some of that. But let's see. Yeah,
well, the girl that was just here that I was interviewing before, she's Kim Kardashian's trainer. And the stuff that she's telling me, I'm like, can I still drink wine? She was like, no. I'm like, jail. Go home.
Oh, no. It's not, I hate the whole fitness and health industry that you have to live a little bit and you have to enjoy life.
Yeah. Do you drink wine?
No, I'm not. I never been a big drinker, to be honest with you. It's never been a problem. It's just I get tired. I rather drink things that make me
awake,
like coffee.
See, wine for some reason makes me awake.
Does that to a lot of girls.
Yeah, it does. Tequila, gin, wine, I love it. When you moved to America, did you know what you wanted to do? Were you like, I want to be acting, I want to be a model? Did you know?
So I'm going to basically touch base on this because when you come from where I come from, of course it's different if you're coming from Europe, but when you're coming from a country where it's very hard to sort of accomplish big dreams like this, like a you want to have your own podcast, you want to be on The Bachelor, especially as a female, it's almost impossible. So my sisters, by achieving anything, they're just basically doing something they would never be able to do back in our home country, as sad as it is, because back in the day, they, invented human rights. They came up with the human right. Women were celebrated. Valentine's Day is originally a Persian thing, but they celebrated women and they crowned women as their queens, and women were so inspired. So having 3 sisters was just so difficult to stay in that country. Yeah. And coming here, it was just such a great opportunity. That was the best thing that could happen. There's a lottery system that people sign up for, and they have to literally join a lottery system in order to win a visa to come to America from that country. So, the second you come here, you made it. So whatever you do, you open up an ice cream shop is a dream come true.
Right. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. Anything.
What was your first big break moment where modeling or acting industry that you're like, okay, here we go?
It's a difficult industry. And the reason why I say that is because there's you hear a lot of no's, obviously, and you have to be comfortable with that. And I feel like my whole life has been a lot of no's, back to personal life, back to, when I was here in America was just basically no, sports life, a lot of rejection, a lot of things. So that made me ready for Hollywood. And I built this sort of short-term memory from sports, because when you mess up in sports, you're supposed to forget about it. Otherwise, you're going to mess up the whole game. Yeah. I built that up. So when I audition for something, I just completely forget about it. I put my 110% into it, to the actual time being, and then once it's done, I forget about it. So it's been very difficult. It's never been a big break. It's been a bunch of little wins leading up to it. Like, for example, it could be as much as doing a podcast and saying something that could go viral, and then that's much productive than being on a movie or a TV show. But I've been succeeding a lot in comedy series, TV series. I've been on Hacks. I was on Hacks for about 20 seconds. Yeah. For about 20 seconds. So, but let me tell you what, I met everybody on there. I still keep keep in contact with Paul. He's the creator of the show and the writer on the show. And then Jean Smart was on there, and I had a scene with Jean Smart, and she was doing this, Miss Claus, and I was Santa, and they showed that at the Emmys. They showed it everywhere. So just
right. Those are small wins that are big. They're big too.
It was much bigger than a big leading project I've done. So
Do you get scared that things are going to go viral that's not in your favor?
I think Hollywood is a bed that you make yourself and you lay in it, right? So it doesn't matter. I think if you balance it and say, this is supposed to be part of it, losses are also supposed to be part of it. And you have to be grounded and know yourself and your true self. And once you know that, it's a little bit easier. Of course, everybody's human, and you don't want to have this thing where it has to, when it gets to you, it sucks. But for me, everything that led up to me to even be in Hollywood was basically making me ready to be here.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And I know you've turned down a lot of reality TV before, Masked Singer, Big Brother, Dancing with the Stars. So why yes to Traitors?
Yes, that's true.
You should do Dancing with the Stars.
Well, let me tell you this. I've never turned down anything in my life besides OnlyFans. Yes, we had very early on. We had a good contract with OnlyFans.
You
never
did?
Gonna do it. Yeah, never gonna do it.
Okay.
And a lot of money, but
I bet.
But selling yourself short for low-hanging fruit, and also I
Yes.
have 3 sisters, and I
Yes.
dignity, and I have confidence in myself. So that was an immediate no. But let's say reality things.
Mm-hmm.
Reality is amazing. It's the most watched on TV. And it's the most watched shows even now. Traitors is the most watched.
Killing it.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. The
Yeah.
fans that message me, I've never been in anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was from the strategy and listening to the people that I have on my team, my agent and manager, it wasn't the right timing to do.
Yeah. Fair.
And, Dancing with the Stars at the time, I wasn't so limber. And now I'm much, more advanced in dancing. I've been taking classes at
Have you really?
Yeah, I've been taking classes at LA Fitness, Zumba classes. And
Cool.
no, I'm joking.
Oh, you're joking?
No, but there's a time and place for everything, and this time was, Traitors came out as the right time.
Yeah.
I was free,
Yeah.
and I wanted to visit Scotland, and
Yes.
Alan Cumming was on there, and
Legend.
the way they shoot this is sort of like a Game of Thrones. It's not
Yes.
even a reality show.
Well, you didn't even get to experience Scotland, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm basically in the show. If you watch it, is a lot of B-rolls of me. So
Shirtless.
it's shirtless and showers.
How did
and
you
things.
feel about that?
It's just I felt good about it
Yeah.
because it's
Flattering.
I think I had some confidence in the team, and they were really good. The production was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the whole, making sure you don't run into. It was the weirdest, wildest experience.
Yeah.
But I had some. I saw what was going to happen, and I
Yeah.
knew they were going for Emmys, and they needed those shots to win the Emmys. Might as well help some other project win Emmys.
Yes, I had Chriselle on before the last person that was here. I was on the same season of Chriselle for Dancing with the Stars, so we became really good friends. But she was telling me just how intense that show is.
Yes, yes.
I mean, who is your favorite? Who did you get along with the most?
I got along with everybody,
Yeah.
I went into it not really thinking about that was a good advantage because I'm not going to go into it, obviously the people that I knew Nikki from WWE.
Oh, right.
But I don't want to know about anything, reality. There's a
Yeah.
lot of personal stuff, so I don't know how real it is.
Yeah.
And how I don't want to judge somebody for the way they are. Sometimes you can't help it,
Yeah.
by judging them.
Right.
Because they're still doing the same thing on
Yeah.
the show, just
Yeah.
like some people that I had the experience. But Bob the drag queen was cool.
Yeah.
He was a little over the top.
Yeah.
But that's what he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Dylan was, I talk to him here and there. Every episode he calls me.
Aw.
And he's like, how did you feel? I was like,
Aw,
great.
he seems like a sweetie.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart, and it was just, he was great on just everybody. But even Boston Rob was, everybody when they first revealed him, I didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
I was just like, why is this guy wearing a baseball cap? They told me so much to bring all my, Sunday church clothes.
Yeah.
And this guy's over here wearing
Ball cap and
a baseball cap. Like, what's going on,
so him. But
Yeah.
that's, I mean, you talk
Trademark.
about how, wanting to, not judge people or look them up before, but were you nervous at all going into it of what people were thinking of you?
Let's not call it nervous
Mm-hmm.
because the second I feel like throughout my whole life, everywhere I've been, and this is leading back to childhood upbringing, I wasn't always fit. I wasn't always the best looking person, or I was an immigrant. I didn't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was I was the president of the Chubby Boys Club.
Really?
No,
Oh.
there's no such a thing. But but
cute.
but when you're not when you don't belong there, when you're a minority, when you're you're not a person that everybody wants to be friends with in school, you have to be funny. You have to be charismatic. I
Yeah.
think that's what, and my dad is super charismatic. Some of that comes from, humble brag. Some of this comes from genetic. But
Yeah.
I had to be at some point in order to win friends and in order to win a bunch of people. So my confidence into winning people over, I don't even have to try, or
Right.
I can just be myself, and the second it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
But as far as them reading some stuff, like the reality people, they love drama.
Oh,
They
yeah.
love drama. So they, if they read something on me and they don't know, or they don't know the case, I don't mind confronting it, and I don't mind saying it. Ian was the first person to ask. I kind of forgot about it because
Yeah.
how intense the thing was. I was
Right.
like, okay, no one's going to really know me. I'm going to go into this and really not say much and listen and try to take it in.
Right.
Because I know some people are going to be over the top. And The second Ian sat down and she's in this pink dress and I'm in a pink suit, but so I was very intimidated. And she's like, "Oh, does your ex-wife watches Housewives?" I was like, I don't know. I don't even know what a housewife is. No offense, just never been interested.
Yeah.
And, she was so sweet. And people are fans. They're not.
Totally.
They're fans and they're curious and it's normal. So I don't have a problem with confronting them.
I like that because I just feel like, you're, like you said, the Hollywood bed and you lay in it. Like, it's kind of like when people are like, "Oh, do you hate talking about The Bachelor because it was so long ago and your exes?" And I'm like, man, it's part of, it's part of my story. It's part of how I got here. I wouldn't have all of this without that. And I'm okay talking about things. And that's what podcasting is for,
Podcasting is amazing. I've done a lot of interviews with almost everybody, and at the beginning of my career, it's nice to talk about your career, but we all know what everybody wants. They want a clickbait. So if I go on an interview and speak about a project that just came out.
Yeah, they're not going to pick that up.
It's going to be in there, but it's going to be in fine print.
Yeah.
Versus, if I didn't even answer the question, they'll still say the reaction to that. So that's great. There's no problem.
Yeah.
That's not an issue whatsoever. But, you have things that you want to say on a podcast. People get to, see your personality and hear you out and be like, "Oh, this guy is not just a freaking idiot model face wannabe actor."
Right.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's nice. That's what I like about podcasting too is, on TV, you're a character and you're one-dimensional and they're only going to show one side of you, where on a podcast you can actually explain yourself, have conversation, show your personality.
Be real.
And be real.
Yeah, you can. People spot fake away from a mile.
Oh my God. Can they?
I mean, depends. If you're wearing a fake watch, maybe not. But I'm talking about personality. Yeah, of course. And nobody wants fake.
No, I know.
Nobody
but I
wants
feel like the internet is full of fakies.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay for the internet to have people that are fake on there. But what are you going to get with being fake? How far are you going to go? For who?
Right.
For what?
And at what cost?
Yeah,
I know.
It's too exhausting to keep up with that stuff.
I also feel like there's so many people out there who I'm like, you don't need to be doing this. So, you're good.
Your genuine self is much better than that.
Much better. Yeah. You mentioned some of the stars on Traitors were practicing lines in the bathroom.
No, I'm not saying they were practicing. I didn't see anybody practicing their lines.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
What?
Some people came in ready. Bob the drag queen came in ready.
He did his research.
Listen, you know what what is it called? A confessional, where you sit down and talk.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Right.
But now I have some experience, so I know the next if I ever do one, what I'm going to say, because I know what the edits are going to pick up, and I know how reality TV works. So if you're from a reality, you're a master, like Britney, Hines, right?
Yes,
Brittany Haynes.
yes.
Am I saying that right?
Haynes, yes.
So she's phenomenal, and she's
her.
so quiet in person. She's so sweet, but when nobody's around and she's only talking to the camera, she's hilarious.
Yeah.
Could be mean, but hilarious. But some of those people are mastermind, when they talk on that, and you can just tell they've been preparing. That just doesn't come from from saying stuff like Bob the drag queen. He said something at the round table. He said many things that were practiced as premeditated.
Yeah.
And one of them was, I think he said, when the big dog, talks, the little bitch sits down, and he was talking about the royal family, the royal family being the sneakiest, and that's why Ivar was a traitor. So, those things, we know that.
Yeah, we do know that. Or they're producer fed where they're like, say that.
No.
No?
No, I don't think the Traitors were, the producers were hands off on this.
Wow. Yeah, Chriselle kind of said the same thing.
Chriselle was amazing.
Isn't she great?
She's amazing. And I partner up with her in one of the missions, and she was like, please, Sam. She was like this. She's like, let's go for the shield, because I didn't care about the shield. I don't want to be the one that always so hungry, not thirsty, but hungry to win the game. But she wanted one, and she's like, let's go. Don't be this person. Don't sacrifice. I need one tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you're good.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
But we tried and we didn't get one, and me and her were both safe for that night, so it worked out.
What about Gabby? Don't you just think she is a hoot?
Gabby is so funny. Like watching the show, and I hate to watch things that I'm on there.
You do?
I hate it, absolutely. But
why?
it's just weird.
So, like, do you get self-critical? Like, do you critique, or you just think it's weird?
Back to my sports days, when we played a game, we watched it the next day, and we slowed it down, studied it. How can we get better? So if I go into that phase, I'm gonna be
That's
too
why
much
I don't
in my
listen
head.
to my own podcast, because I don't want to get in my head. But
And sometimes maybe that was a really good thing I did when it comes to acting.
Yeah.
But I can't tell that because it was so natural. But if I fix it, it might ruin it.
Right.
So, but this show is so interesting. I mean, from experiencing it versus seeing how it's edited.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff, I mean, it's a whole day. The round table is a couple hours long, and when you watch it, it's 10 minutes.
Right. There's so much that isn't shown. But I just think Gabby is just a comedian.
She's so funny.
So
she
funny.
was, when they talk about Ivor, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, they were talking about, he's an older gentleman, and he's such a funny guy. He said something really funny that I cracked up, and he said two things that were really funny. But he's an older guy, and she was saying something about him trying to have a heart attack in one of the missions. I was just so furious. I mean, I'm talking to the guy, and he goes, "I looked up on ChatGPT how to win the Traitors."
No.
And I'm like, whoa, this guy's a genius. Nobody thought about that.
What did it say?
A bunch of strategies, actual
Really?
legit strategy. Yeah, that's what he said. And then he was talking about his dog, but he referred it to as a bitch, which is the term for a dog. English term for a dog.
It is,
I was like, who you calling a bitch?
Yeah.
He's like, my dog had like 10 puppies. I was like, bitch is not a good word. And he's like, no, that's the proper word for a female dog.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm not going to use that. Let's just say puppy or my baby or anything.
Yeah, because they're going to clip that of you saying something about a bitch.
But he's such a wonderful guy. I mean, it's just, I don't see him as a royal. I don't see anybody as anything but how they treat people and how he was treating people. He was talking about his daughters and how he was talking about his family was just phenomenal. I partnered up with him last episode, and I was like, if we need to do anything physical, I'm done. Because I don't know, but I didn't say but me and him were the best team on that mission.
Yeah.
Love it.
And overall experience on that show, did you love it? Did you love doing it? Were you surprised by anything?
I was surprised by it. I had a friend that's been on a bunch of reality shows, my friend Maxie, my mentor, and we've been talking for a very long time and strategizing about my career. He happens to be one of, he's been on almost every reality show back in his day, and he told me exactly what was going to happen and how people were going to treat me. But I think strategizing for that show sort of made me too scared to go in and start talking to people and really speaking to the housewives and the people that might jump back at you and say something that's not necessary,
right?
So I didn't want to get in a fight with anybody. I just wanted to go in there, be helpful to find the traitors and then do really good at the physical missions and just show some personality.
You all know I'm all about that beauty that's effortless and fun, which is why I'm obsessed with the new Lash Blast Supercloud Mascara from Covergirl. This mascara super boosts your lashes with weightless length, light as air lift. Seriously, it feels like nothing is on there, but the results are everything. The air whipped formula packed with vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acids keep my lashes looking long, lifted, and so soft. Plus, it's clump-free, smudge-free, flake-free, and lasts up to 24 hours. Because if my mascara can outlast my day and a glass of wine or two, we've got a winner. I love using it to get that fresh, kind of clean girl makeup look when I want my lashes to stand out but still feel super natural, or just for a night out, just swipe, lift, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam, super boosted. And best of all, it's vegan, cruelty-free, easy to remove, so try it for yourself and get ready for your lash glow up. Only from Easy Breezy, beautiful Covergirl. Okay, are you ready to prioritize yourself this new year? Your skin is always a great place to start. I love Dime Beauty, founded by a master esthetician. It's not just skincare, it's self-care. With 4 skin-conscious categories, skincare, beauty, body care, and fragrance, Dime makes it so easy to upgrade your routine with spa-worthy products that actually work. And if you're like a lot of people out there that want a routine that's effective but not overwhelming, the Work System is a total game changer. It's an all-in-one best-selling routine that includes a cleanser of your choice, toner, serums, and moisturizers, basically just everything you need for glowy, happy skin without the guesswork. And Dime is committed to clean ingredients and sustainable packaging, so it's nice and gentle on your skin and the planet. Cute. With thousands of 5-star reviews, the results speak for themselves. Revive your skin and give yourself a routine refresh that you deserve. Go to dimebeautyco.com today. That's dimebeautyco.com, dimebeautyco.com. What do you think people were thinking? Like you said, your mentor, what was his name? Maxie?
Maxie, yeah.
What did he say it was going to be like for you?
He said exactly how it was going to go. He said people are going to say things, and it's just perception, just everything that went down. But, I went into it just being myself. And luckily, everybody had a good experience with me. I hope so.
Yeah.
And I do good in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I feel like people probably, what is the perception? What, because you're a model and you're an actor?
So, yes, but what's happening is the perception goes from being a model actor, right? So they don't know your personality, how you're going to be. And then number 2 is I'm known for, a very public relationship for a very long time. So that could be another perception.
Yeah.
So everything's cheesy about me to begin with, and people might think different, and people might attack you for a certain thing. That was one of it, but that's nothing to worry about when you are true yourself.
Yeah. Is it hard for you to have people always wanting to talk about Britney because she's such a household name and there's so much going on? Like, does it put you in an uncomfortable position, or are you okay speaking on it to a certain extent?
I think what it comes down to is at the beginning it was.
Yeah.
And that was because I was being, protective, and still to this day. But understanding that this is someone that's been an icon, and especially for women, for females that are in that generation, even to this day, all the new pop stars are following this blueprint.
Oh yeah.
So everybody's a fan. Even like I said, Taylor Swift is a fan. Everybody that's doing things now, they're literally copying. And
yes.
And
she really is the blueprint of a pop star icon.
So it's never going to be awkward or weird, but there are going to be things that private life is private life, and that has nothing to do with NDA or anything that you sign. And like I said, in Hollywood, when you want to take a poop, you have to sign that NDA. But even if you don't have it, it's my morals, my family, everything that I stand for doesn't allow me to kind of go, talk to public about things that are supposed to be private.
Yeah, because I guess I'd never want you to think I'm doing something for clickbait. I never want you to think I'm trying to make you uncomfortable. It's more just my own curiosity too.
Let me tell you something.
What?
I'm a master at answering questions now.
Oh, well then let me go.
Yes, you can answer any questions, and if it's not supposed to be something that's against my morals, not against the NDA.
Okay.
My morals, because I have respect for myself, the situations that I've been, and I have respect for everybody that's been a part of my life. Yeah. And I know how to answer those questions.
Well, then here we go. I of course, would never know what happened between the two of you, and it's not my business. But should people be worried about her?
That's something that you have to surround yourself with great people around you. That's what I tried to do when I was there. I was trying to be protective. And knowing the fact that there were so many people that, took advantage of this girl, and me being an immigrant, and America is this beautiful opportunity for me, and that wasn't going to happen with me. Yeah. Not only I wasn't going to take an advantage of it, I wasn't going to allow anybody to do it. Yeah. So that's what, I hope everything goes well with her, and, it seems like she's doing great, and her book was phenomenal, and, I was there when she was writing it, and I was there how expressive she was, and I just hope the best for her.
Because when we were listening to her speak in the court and we heard it, God, she's so well spoken. She sounded like her. And then it's just like, I always wonder if, Instagram is a form of entertainment. I'm like, she's entertaining.
Yeah.
And then you could hear her voice and her seriousness and her like capacity to hold her own and say what she thought she deserved. And it was just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I think of women. I think women inspire us, and I have 3 sisters. I was raised by women. I was brought up by women.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be inspiring to me. I called her Lioness for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think she was just such a important part of how a woman could be, and she stood her ground and was proud of her at that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, people think a lot of the timing of the breakup was interesting, but did the end of the conservatorship play any role in your split?
I think instead of sitting there and really, I never thought about why it ended or what the timing was or how it happened. Mm-hmm. Breakups suck.
Yeah, they do. Especially in
marriage.
That
you know that. You're talking about your parents.
I've been engaged twice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You ever think that's... Okay, no, we're not going to go to that.
Yeah, no. It's a them problem. No, definitely not me.
Those things suck.
They do suck.
No one wants that. But, but instead of sitting there and thinking about why it ended or how it ended or whatever the case was, I always look back at it as it was a blessing.
Yeah.
I never think of it as, I'm never sad that it ended.
Right.
I'm very happy that ever happened in every way possible, in a personal way, in the love that we shared, in the experiences that we shared, and the things that she taught me. She taught me how to be a hard worker. She taught me that the Hollywood is no bullshit.
Yeah.
You have to be a genius. You have to be hardworking. You have to be addicted to your work. And just everything. And she's a true sweetheart.
Yeah.
That's why America fell in love with her. Mm-hmm. And she taught me those. And also, let's be real. I mean, I work hard in my career. I take every audition seriously. I'm an actor that comes from drama, theater, and arts back in high school. Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. We met on an acting set, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we met at on a music video. So we were co-workers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But truly, she also helped me get recognized.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to be thankful for that as well.
Of course. Is there any misconceptions that you'd ever want to clear up about the breakup?
No, not necessarily. It's just, I'm always going to be honest and genuine. And there's no, like I said, it's really weird not to speak about something that was in such a big public eye and it lasted for so long. And a big part of my life, 1/3 of my life already. And a big part of her life as well. And everybody's a fan. Everybody wants to, everything I do, I'm going to live the rest of my life answering these questions. But a lot of things, like I said, my morals, things that happen between you and your ex and things like that. If you sat at a table and you ate food together, if you shared bread together, this is something that comes from my culture. Mm-hmm. And you say, I love you to each other. At one point, that was supposed to be the only you two, and you go, and when it ends and you go and speak badly about each other, that doesn't cut it in my
oh, it's hard though.
For you guys, maybe not. I don't know, but
I'm a bit of a firecracker, and I tend to want to speak my truth and think I don't know. It's hard for me to bite my tongue, but I've actually gotten a lot better lately.
If you have to, the other person if you have to defend yourself, with all means, you go do you, but. I'm not here to give anybody. You have much more experiences than I do. I have one. I have one ring. You have 2 Super Bowl rings that you give back.
Third time's a charm. That's what they say.
That's what they say. I don't know if it's true.
That's what they say. Do you think Britney watches Traitors?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think she'll be interested.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why? Does she like reality TV?
I think she watched a lot of Friends and, what was that? There's a little old...
Full House?
No. It's after the lady actress. It's in black and white.
Oh. I Love Lucy?
I Love Lucy.
Really?
She watches a lot of I Love Lucy and a lot of Brad Pitt movies. She has a crush on Brad Pitt.
Hilarious. So Who doesn't?
I've been watching a lot of Brad Pitt movies back in the day, so yeah.
Brad Pitt has some phenomenal movies.
He's
Fight
an amazing
Club
actor.
Is one of my favorite movies.
Amazing movie, yeah.
Okay, confession. I love eating healthy, but the whole grocery shopping and meal planning part, not my strong suit. I either get overwhelmed trying to plan balanced meals, or I end up grabbing the boring same stuff every week. And that all changed thanks to Hungry Root. Seriously, the easiest way to eat healthy without the stress. Hungry Root, okay, it's like having your own personal shopper and nutritionist in one. So you tell them your food preferences and health goals, whether it's high protein, dairy-free, gut-friendly, just quick, easy meals, and they fill your cart with personalized healthy groceries and meal ideas that actually fit your life. It's genius. And let me tell you, these recipes are super easy. Every meal takes 15 minutes or less, which means more time doing literally anything else. Plus, the food is top quality, so no high fructose corn syrup, no weird preservatives, just real good food. They even have snacks, smoothies, ready-to-eat meals, so I'm never stuck wondering what to eat. You're gonna love Hungry Root as much as I do, so take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, you can get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. So go to hungryroot.com/Vine and use code VINE. That's hungryroot.com/Vine, code VINE, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/Vine, code VINE. This episode of Off the Vine is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You know those people who just get finances? The ones who always find the best deals, budget like pros, somehow have their lives together on that front anyways? Yeah, that could be you when you switch your car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Progressive hooks you up with discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. And let's be real, saving money, big win. But what's even better is knowing Progressive has your back with great customer service when you actually need it. So do the fiscally responsible thing and check out Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations. You recently did a campaign with, what is it PETA?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that experience like for you?
It was great.
Yeah.
I mean, the pita bread, or are you talking about PETA? No,
that's great too.
You know what?
But I could tell you're an animal lover because I just witnessed you with the dog and I saw your dog. Yeah.
Oh, I love animals.
Yes.
There's my, I showed you
to
you
beauty.
before, but this is my Doberman, and the reason why I always loved animals, but I wasn't there's a lot of information you should know.
Yeah.
Adopt and don't shop and all that stuff. And
yes.
I love Dobermans because of their amazing, aesthetic and their ears. But it's a cruel thing to do. It's like cosmetic surgery on a baby.
I know.
And they don't need it. And they're much cuter that way. So I at the time, I had purchased the dog because I didn't know. I was ignorant in that.
Fair enough.
But then I was like, okay, this is a mistake. I made a mistake, but how can I do something to kind of make it better?
Yeah.
Which was, let's not do the ears because that's cosmetic surgery.
Right.
So I looked up, all these different researches of what you should not do because you're hurting the animal, even though you might not. Then I posted about it. Then PETA loved it, and they did an article about it. Then I used to do a lot of photo shoots with shelters. Mm-hmm. And animal shelters to promote adoption and not shop. And we did a campaign, and they wanted to, raise awareness for, adoption. And we teamed up with that adoption team. And recently I talked to them something about Valentine's Day.
Love.
And hopefully that comes out pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I have a love for animals too. And I rescued both my dogs and realized the importance of rescue as well. Mm-hmm. So what did you do in your breakup with the dog?
It wasn't, I wasn't going to take anything that's not mine or take anything that doesn't belong to mine. So it was kind of like a agreement and no-brainer. And very, Doberman, they're very tough dogs to, care for. Yeah. And I sort of wanted a peaceful transition, and that's what happened.
What would be your dream role to be in a movie or TV?
TV and movie is my favorite thing to do. The reason why is because you're always surprised with what you find. I mean, any role has a lot of background that you have to go into research, and then you get to learn a lot. I think the action stuff is a giving. I'm always going to be doing action. Mm-hmm. The comedy stuff is really fun, and it takes a really skilled actor to be a comedian. Yeah. And if you don't believe me, watch Adam Sandler in, those Uncut Gems or the basketball movie he did.
Uncut Gems was
They're incredible actors because you can't teach funny.
Yeah.
And I've done really good on TV series that's, comedy. Mm-hmm. And I love that. But I think something that's going to take me out of my comfort zone and something that's going to prove my ability to acting, and something that takes me away from the perception that we're fighting so hard for.
Yeah. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
The best piece of advice that I've ever received is don't believe people that tell you you are shit and don't believe people that are telling you that you are the shit. They're both lying to you.
I've never heard that. I'm not confused. I'm letting that soak in because that's actually good.
It's good. I mean, if somebody's telling you you're the worst, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Because they don't know your potential. And if somebody's telling you you're so good, you're so that, they're not being honest.
Yeah, they want something.
Yes.
Oh, that's so good. I've never heard that one either. That's why I was like, oh, okay, good one. And then what is next for you personally, professionally? What's coming up?
You know, I like to, my life has been a blessing. I mean, every chapter of my life has been such a good thing. And I heard Denzel Washington say this. He said, the first part of your life you learn, the second part of your life you earn, the third part of your life you give. And I'm in my earning phase, so I'm going to be asking for a payment for this podcast.
Yeah, of course.
After this, it's going to be of 10 kisses with that dog that was just here. I'll take 10 licks as a payment.
Okay.
And
Easy
but
enough.
no, but I really want to conquer my acting craft, and I want to take on jobs. And when it makes sense to do them, if they do make sense, and I want to be a fascinated kind of talent.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing a good job with that.
That's amazing. One of my friends, Charity, she was the Bachelorette. She met this guy, Dotton. He had never watched the show. He's so humble. He's so great. He's so loving. And I was like, why is it so easy for you to just let these things like go with her dating? Like usually on The Bachelorette, people break up because they get jealous and they're like, oh, you were making out with all those guys and it's a hard foundation to start on. And he goes, he came here from another country and he goes, I've seen what's real, what's a real problem.
Sure.
I've seen that. And I feel like you kind of carry that same energy where you're like, it's a blessing to be here. You're grateful for situations. And I really like that approach because I think it would be really hard to be in such a, you want to be taken seriously as an actor, as a model. You're doing good things. And then you have this public breakup and public situation, but you have held your head really high during it. And I just appreciate the way that you carry yourself through everything.
Thank
and I
you.
think that probably has a lot to do with where you came from.
I think the upbringing, 3 sisters. I have 3 sisters that I never want to let down. So I don't want them to, look at me and I handle the situation like an idiot. And they're like, our brother is an idiot. I never want that to happen.
Yeah.
I want to be a good example for my sisters and the people that I love and my future children, and just want to be a good person.
How do you protect your peace?
How do I protect my peace?
Yeah, like when things get wild, when cameras are in your face, when TMZ's asking dumb questions, when you're doing, like, how do you take care of yourself?
I think, like I said, back to don't believe people when they tell you you are shit, and don't believe it when they say you are the shit. Yeah. It's just be yourself and just really stay grounded. That's easy being said with me. Like I said, not a lot of stuff gets to me because I think there's a saying, the same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. And, that saying goes a long way for me. But that's just because it's me and is my mentality and the discipline that I had, the upbringing, the emigration to America, the experiences, my time, getting exposed to the weird side of Hollywood, and everything that goes is just such a blessing and such an experience. So I like to think of everything as an experience. I learn from it. I move on from it. I don't hold, grudge on it or anything like that. So I think that's what's so grounding. And eventually what I like to do is I like to always stay hungry for my career, and I always want to achieve more and give back more. I never want to be thirsty. There's 2 different things. Hunger and thirst, completely different things. There you go. That's money. That's going to be 10 more licks from the dog.
That's good. Hungry, not thirsty. I really like that. Before you go, I always ask my guests to confess something embarrassing to me, something that you need to get off your chest. Now is your time.
As you can see, I'm clearly perfect. No, I'm joking. But there's a lot of embarrassing moments, I think anywhere between farting on accident.
Where?
In class. In
school?
Yeah, of course. Oh. Anywhere between that and other things. But I think one of the most embarrassing moments that I had was when I first moved here.
Yeah.
And that's when I went into the class, the last person. I was, dressed up in a suit and in a suitcase. Everybody's dressed in a hoodie, all American. And I sit down at the end of the classroom, which is basically below the American flag. And my dad has told me, you know, when you go to school, they're going to love you. You're from a different country. They love people with black hair, black eyes. They think highly of you. They're going to appreciate you. So with that mindset, I'm sitting down and they turn around and they do the I pledge allegiance to the flag. And I think I don't understand what they're saying, but I'm thinking, you know, they're kind of welcoming me to America. They're kind of like, welcome to America. We know that you came from, you know.
They're like all facing you do that, and you're like, you're welcome.
No, I get up and I salute back. And people were just like, what the heck is this guy doing? And from the start.
That's so cute.
Oh, from the start, I was a weirdo. So that's one of the most embarrassing moments.
Wait, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Last thing, best part about Hollywood, worst part about Hollywood.
Best part about Hollywood is I think people get it wrong. The whole point of being famous and being in the spotlight and having a platform is for you to be able to make this world a better place. The worst part about Hollywood is when you gain that fame too fast and people around you that you're exposed to the most, you're vulnerable the most, and you think you trust them the most, they take an advantage of you.
So fair. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. I'll see you next Tuesday. See you next